Hello, everyone. I'm Regulo Hernandez, and today I'm breaking down one of the most talked about legal cases in business, Liebeck versus McDonald's. You might have heard about it as the hot coffee case, but there's way more to it than that. This case sparked a national conversation on corporate responsibility, media influence, and tort law. So let's get into it. As we all know, McDonald's uh, it's a it's one of the biggest restaurants around the world, the fast food restaurant, and let's view their profile. McDonald's was actually founded back in 1940 by Richard and Maurice McDonald. It started as a barbecue joint in San Bernardino, California. Later, they turned into a self-service hamburger and milkshake restaurant, basically creating the modern fast food model. In 1954, Ray Kroc joined them and by 1961, he bought them out and began expanding globally. Remember that uh, by the time that we are analyzing this case, we'll focus our attention in the 90s because it was in 1994. So the company from this period, from the 90s to 2025, their revenue grew from $60.6 billion to $25.7 billion, and the net income from $80 million to $8.2 billion. So it's an increase of 56% during all these years. So we can see a strong uh, financial profile for this company and see that they are still growing and they are still adapting to changes. The growth milestones that we can see, as we already know, they started in the 40s, but it was in 1961 when Ray Kroc joined them and started uh, to convert this business from small burger restaurant to a global restaurant with all these locations around the world. Then during the 90s, uh, we can see the biggest expansion around the world. And we can see McDonald's opening restaurants in Russia, China, and India, making this company global and make more, uh, having more presence around the world. And then we can see the last years after the COVID era, they started to improve their systems and include deliveries and all the digital changes needed to adapt themselves to the new necessities of the customer. So let's get into the uh, case and see uh, and start analyze what happened in that moment. So in 1992, a 79 years old uh, person, Stella Liebeck, went to McDonald's and ordered a cup of coffee, and it was very hot. She parked right next to the drive-through and tried to put some uh, sugar and cream to her coffee, and then she split it all over her legs, causing 60% of body injuries and requiring immediate assistance from medics and and hospitalization. So in that moment, she spent around $20,000 in medical bills, And she went to McDonald's and said, "Well, I had this accident and I need you to reimburse me." But they didn't hear her and just gave her $800 as a compensation for the damages. So she decided to go to the court and present all the proofs that it was caused by McDonald's negligence and all of this. In During this case, uh, the investigation, when the investigation started, they discovered that more than 700 customers complained and had the same issues in the past. And now we can do the legal analysis. So McDonald's, um, it was a negligence case under the U.S. tort law. So for negligence, you have to prove there was a duty of care, a breach of causation, a causation, and an actual damage. And that was there. McDonald's clearly had a duty to serve products safely. Serving scandal coffee, despite hundreds of prior complaints, was a breach of that duty. So the court awarded Liebeck $200,000 in compensatory damages, but later reduced this to $160,000 and 2.7 million in punitive damages to punish McDonald's. So this amount was reduced later and from 2.7 to 460 in total. What was the business and ethical impact? So this revealed that, or from a business standpoint, this case was a wake-up call for all the businesses because it showed major flaws in McDonald's risk management and their push for efficiency over the safety of the customers. So she asked for a reasonable amount because she suffered serious injuries and was found uh, uh, and she had a lot of bills, medical bills to pay for that reason. But the jury found McDonald's 80% responsible for this and found her 20% her fault. Remember that it was during the 90s and the main channel for information distribution or media was the television, and a lot of TV shows and music videos and news showed her as opportunistic or frivolous person, just doing this for expecting that amount of money. But that wasn't the right uh, that wasn't the right thing that happened in that moment because in my opinion the court made the right decision holding this big company accountable for the safety of their customers, and it marks a precedent in the future of cases like this because the companies are not just made to generate a net profit at the end of the year. They must be uh, accountable for their actions, their services, and how they treat their customers. Thank you.